Hello everyone, it's Dr. Corey and this is video number 3 of the Good Healthy Fun video series, and I promise today is the last day that we're going to do anything related to being sick or colds and flus. But the other day when I was showing you how I deal with strep throat, I kind of did a quick and dirty version of a soup, and I wanted to give you a really good recipe for a soup for colds and flus. So I'm going to get my Rachel Ray on, my barefoot Contessa here, and see what happens. So we're going to make a really pungent soup, a really aromatic soup that kind of opens the respiratory passages and has a lot of garlic in it to thin mucus. And this is just something you can make a big batch of if you're getting sick, or if you're sick, and then you can drink it all the time when you're sick. So I'm going to make it in a crock pot. Crock pots are awesome because you just put stuff in there and then you leave it and it cooks. Magic. So what we're going to do is just put a quart of vegetable broth, organic vegetable broth. Nothing super fancy, la la la. Vegetable broth. And then we're going to add then we add, it's about a whole bulb, a whole bulb, like lots of cloves of garlic, and that just goes on in there. Da, 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 da. And then we add about 1 tablespoon of ginger. And then I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Whole black pepper. Again, pungent. Garlic has the allicin in it, which helps thin mucus secretions. My head. Okay. Then we're going to go for a bunch of different herbs and spices. So I'm going to add a heaping 1/2 tablespoon of turmeric. Really good anti-inflammatory. And then I'm going to add a 1/2 heaping teaspoon of, a 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder. Da, 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 da. And then got just some mint and some oregano from the garden, about a heaping tablespoon of each. And then I also got some thyme from my garden. It's optional. Just, various herbs are all going to be helpful. Oregano has some really good antimicrobial properties to it. And actually this recipe calls for lemon pepper, but I didn't have any. So we're using pepper, and I'm going to just grate a little lemon zest in there. As you can tell, I'm not uber precise with measurements. I kind of like to be a little bit more creative in the kitchen. But I'm happy to send you the basic recipe. If you want to send us an email at support@drcorey.com, we'll send you the recipe. It's a good one to have on hand. So then I'm just going to turn the crock pot. I'm going to turn the crock pot on to low, and I'm going to let it just cook away for probably 4 hours. 3 hours. And then I'm going to add about a 1/2 sprig, a 1/2 bunch of cilantro, a 1/2 bunch of parsley, Italian flat parsley, and then a whole bunch of red chard, just for kicks. So you get your greens in there, and you can make it more of like a meal soup. But you don't have to add the chard in there. You can just add those other greens, and it'll just be a very concentrated, pungent soup. So that is Dr. Corey's garlic pungent healing soup for colds and flus. And we're going to start moving on to the fun stuff tomorrow. Have a good night.